Welcome to the Love and Sex Today show with Dr. Doug Weiss. Doug has been healing hearts and relationships for decades. He's helped thousands of people release the shame and the guilt, restoring hope, helping people get free from addictions to enjoy a better sex and love life. Here he is, your host, Dr. Doug Weiss.
Welcome to Love and Sex Today. I am Dr. Doug Weiss, and I'm going to be your host for our 36th conversation. This topic today is going to continue to be great. We talked about the 5 sex languages in the last podcast. That'll give you an intro to what we're going to do today. Today, we're going to talk about sex language number 1. That's right. Today, we're going to open up the door to the 5 sex languages. We're going to explore the first sex language. Now, you're going to want to listen to all 5 because I can't tell you how many countless people have read the book, The 5 Sex Languages, and you can go to the website and get that or call our office 719-278-3708. Happy to get that to you. But the 5 sex languages, and they would read the first sex language. They go, oh, that's me. Then they read the second one. I don't know. Then they read the third one. Oh, that's me. Then they read the fourth one. And then they read the fifth one. You have to get all 5 before you decide what you really are. Because these are variations, and they may sound like you, but you really have to absorb all 5. Once you absorb all 5, you go, this one clearly is more me than anything else. This sounds like me, this feels like me, and when this happens to me, oh my gosh, sex is so wonderful. I mean, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it's satisfying. I mean, I am fulfilled. I feel loved. I feel connected, and you are going to learn that sex language today. Now, before we do that, I want you to go to loveandsextoday.com. Even while we're talking, just go on your computer or your phone, loveandsextoday.com. Subscribe there. Review us on iTunes. This is going to be really a great conversation to review. One of you will be selected for a private conversation with myself, and we'll just chat and see what's on your mind or heart and see if we can facilitate something in your life that could be very positive. Also, get a free chapter on the webpage, loveandsextoday.com. And also there's a button there that says, ask your question. Tell us about yourself. Give us a topic that you want me to cover, and maybe we'll have you on the show as introduction to that show. We love hearing from you. We do this for you because we want you to have a great love life. We want you to have a great sex life, and we want you to have it today. Well, this topic, sex language number 1, is going to rock your world because some of you are going to feel understood for the first time. Some of you are going to understand for the first time. Because see, when your sex language is different than your spouse's or your partner's, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be frustrated possibly because they're not like you. And I can guarantee you, I've worked with a couple thousand couples over almost 30 years. I've not met a couple that their sex language was the same. It just doesn't happen. Now, it could happen. It could be wonderful if it is, because then you'll both be kind of on the same plane. You'll both feel very satisfied and fulfilled by the same repertoire of kind of activities. And you'll both be motivated the same way. And you'll both understand each other really rapidly sexually. That is not the case of like 99% of couples. This is an area where they have to learn each other, figure out each other, accept each other. It's almost as if when you are in a marriage or in a long-term committed relationship, sexuality is almost one of those areas you grieve, almost like money, because your spouse or partner is so much different than you. And you actually grieve that they're different than you. You go through shock. Oh my gosh, they're different. You go through denial. Well, they can't really be that way. I think they're really like me deep down under there, right? And they're not. And then you go through bargaining. Well, if I do this, or if I manipulate them this way, or if I can get them to see my point here, then maybe they'll change and they'll be like me. And then there's that whole stage sexually. And then there's the sad stage of trying to make your spouse's sex language like yours. And you just feel sad about it, that they're never going to get you. And you could go into some kind of hopeless place with that. Or you can move to acceptance, which is they're different than me. Now that I accept that they're different than me, let me learn them. That's what the 5 sex languages give to you. So I want to get into sex language number 1. We called this sex language fun. F-U-N. Now, in every one of the sex languages, and I may not get to this on every one of them, there is a mature version, which means this person is mature sexually. They're often mature spiritually, emotionally, socially, parenting and financially. Maturity is kind of a global thing, although you can be really mature in one area and very immature in another area. And sexuality can be something that a man or woman can be very immature in. And so there is an immature expression of a sex language, but it wouldn't be the highest way to understand it. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the mature version. And if this generally sounds like you can then educate your spouse or your partner in how to be a fantastic lover for you, because this is who you are. And when they accept who you are and they get the language for what you like in foreplay, what you like in being asked even, totally different for every sex language. What you want to hear during sex, what you want to hear after sex, all of this can be explained in understanding the sex language. So all I want to do is I want to give you kind of the characteristics of the mature version. If this is you, fantastic, you have been found, okay? If it's not you, don't worry, there's 4 more podcasts, one right after the other. I'm not going to hide these, one a week or something like that. We're going to do them right in a row so that you can listen to each one, get the benefit of that. And of course, you can always buy the 5 Sex Languages book. It's online, it's an ebook, and you can go to loveandsextoday.com and find it there. Now, the mature version of fun. A fun sex language person is exactly that. They like to mix sexuality and fun. Now, for some people, those 2 words never even come together. For some people, sexuality is a chore. For some people, sexuality is, I have to. You're not a fun sex language person. Okay, you're down the road a little bit. This person, sex and fun is optimal. Now, they're willing to have maybe that quick experience, and they're willing to have kind of the ordinary sex. But if you really want to get this person riled up and excited sexually, you throw fun into the middle of this sexual experience, they're going to be lit up, male or female. So let's walk through what a mature version of a fun sex language person might be like. Number 1, they are spontaneous. And in some of our podcasts, we talk about, creating a sexual agreement. Well, this person might feel that be restraining to them because they want to have sex whenever they want to. I mean, when they feel like it, they want to have fun. That could be in the closet. That could be in the car. I'm talking about a 60-year-old. I'm not talking about a 16-year-old. I'm talking about a 60-year-old who wants to have sex in the car, who wants to go out in the backyard. I mean, they want spontaneous, okay? For them, different locations has value. Okay, so now oftentimes this person, sadly enough, is going to be married to another person who really doesn't like to have fun sexually. So you can see the tension, and they're both going to have to mature to accept and validate each other. But this person, location has value. In front of the fireplace, outside the bedroom. We mentioned the car. They would love to do the bed and breakfast thing. They don't mind getting a hotel room in the middle of the day, drop $100 and have a great sexual encounter, and then go back and pick up the kids an hour later. That would be a blast for a fun sex language person. Now, because your spouse or partner is a fun sex language, it doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean that they're crazy. It just means they're different. And when you celebrate differences, instead of tolerating them or trying to change them, it radically shifts the way your marriage or relationship works. So they're spontaneous, location, different is very much part of the process. Now, some people want to do the same thing 1,000 times before they consider anything else. This is not this person. Now, different doesn't have to be like reading, some kind of fancy textbook on multiple positions, although that could be part of it. Different can be just you speaking something different, just you inviting them in a different way, just you connecting with them sexually in a different way. Now, of course, it could be different as far as, other ideas. And I don't want to get into ideas because I don't want someone saying, well, Dr. Weiss said, that's fun. I get enough emails as it is. So let's just let different be different, and however that works for you. But, it could be just as simple as in front of the fireplace, the kids are gone, and it could be, instead of just having sex, you had hot chocolate before, during, or after. Okay, just different. So something that says, hey, I want to bring some fun into this process with you. The next is creative. Because different is part of it, creative is part of it. Now, if you are not creative sexually and you're married to someone who is a fun sex language, you have a couple options. You could shame them, you could belittle them, you could cripple them, and you could try to make them like you. That's a very bad way to go, and it hurts them in a very deep way. Or you can learn to be creative, and even if you have limitations in your creativity, there's lots of information out there. Okay, you can even ask your partner, who is fun. They'll give you lots of ideas, and you could put all those ideas in a hat, and you could try them once in a while. Okay, you don't have to be the creative person, but enjoy their creativity. Let your first response be, well, we haven't tried that before. Let's try that tonight. Well, that's a good idea, honey. I'm not sure about how we'll figure that out, but let's try, okay? So if you're not the creative person, celebrate their creativity. Now, I'm not talking about in the immature version where this could be demanding and controlling and, there's never enough. I'm not talking about the immature version. I'm talking about the mature version that wants creativity, wants that fun. Next, experimenting is okay, and they desire that. They want to kind of experiment. Now, again, this is not sexual bully stuff. This is, I just want to have a good time. I'd like to try this. And it is not trying to pound your spouse into some behavior that they don't want to do. That's not what we're talking about. Fun is exactly fun. Okay, the immature version, yes, they may want to dominate you, humiliate you. They might want to scar you. Okay, that is an immature sexuality, no matter what expression of language it is. Let's keep going. For them, pleasure is a combination of sex and creativity. This is really important. For this person, when sex and fun join together, the pleasure grows exponentially. It's the wow factor that's amazing. And they enjoy these memories. When they think back through their sexuality, think about, oh, remember that time in the forest, remember that time in the park, remember that time in the car, remember that time, in his closet. Okay, remember this time in the bed and breakfast. They enjoy the cataloging of creativity. Okay, they enjoy that. And if you understand this about your spouse, join in the party. Don't be a fun party pooper. Bring the party to this person. Say, hey, I know you probably have a few ideas. Maybe you don't. Maybe as a spouse, you're not exactly Mr. or Mrs. Exciting. Okay, but encourage them. Say, hey, you have a few ideas. We haven't tried some things. You got anything you'd like to try in the next week or two? I'd like to make that happen for you. I want to serve you in that way, in a kind way. Again, this is not coming from a place of fear. It's not coming from a place of dominance. It's coming from a place of, I really love you. I really accept you. I know you like to play. So maybe once a month, twice a month, once a week, let's play. Let's use your creativity and let it go as wild as it wants to, as long as you're not asking me to do X, Y, and Z, because I'm not going to do that. Let's play in the areas where we know we can play and have a lot of fun. Well, I want you to go to loveandsextoday.com. Okay, subscribe there. Review us on iTunes, because one of you who reviews us will get that conversation with me, and it will be really, really fun. Get your free chapter on the webpage, loveandsextoday.com. And also ask us questions. Please, we want you to be part of the show. We're doing this for you to have a great life, and we want you to have a great love and sex life today.
That's it for our episode of Love and Sex Today with Dr. Doug Weiss. Head on over to loveandsextoday.com and be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes. When you do, and you post a review on iTunes, some lucky listener is going to win every single month a private confidential coaching call with Dr. Doug Weiss. Also, feel free to ask any question you like. You can push a button, speak your question, and Dr. Doug will answer your question in a future episode. So be sure to subscribe to the show. Doug's got some great gifts for you, and we will look forward to seeing you next time.